Right here is going to be our wireless mic setup. We have our XLRs, plug in our wireless transmitter straight to the mixer. One of the 4 channels are always good. Since we have 2 microphones, we're going to be doing 2 cables. Each one is going to be specifically addressed to align with each of our mics. Plug in the Yamaha, plug in the Shure transmitter, power on, our power button, our microphone, also on battery powered because it's wireless. As you can see, we have group and we have channel. And then on here, we have group and channel as well on the transmitter. You see that's H5. We have H5 right here. So these are already connected. Now it's just a matter of turning on our master output right here. Turn these up, turn these on because these are the ones that are activated. Turn on our 1, 2. Plug in our XLR cable running out from the mixer into our speaker. So now we have that signal. I'm gonna go turn on the speaker. Go and give this a test. 1, 2, and there you go. Easy Station 1.
We have our basic setup of our Alien CQ18T. This is a quick start guide. It's going to take you through, if you follow it, 1 through 10 on actually powering up the system and getting a very basic setup going. If we look at our unit, when it first starts, it'll be on the home screen. So you're going to switch over to our fader. This gives you access to all of our channels. So right now we have microphone on number 11. So if I actually increase the volume here, you can click it. Now it's a touch screen, so you can move things up or you can increase or decrease. Hello, this is my first audio. So that's the first way to do a microphone, very easy. Now if you want to increase the gain on it, you're going to come back over here and you're going to choose the configure button. And now you can actually choose what channel you want. So we're going to do microphone number channel 11, and I can choose my gain. And now when you change here, it's going to let you increase or decrease the volume exactly how you want. I always recommend that you set it right here to 0, so that way your green is reaching right at the 0 decibels, and you don't want to go into the orange or into the red where you could be clipping. We do have our quick start guide. Read through this. It's going to talk about exactly how to start up your speaker. On the back of it, it really shows and breaks down exactly what everything does on it. So that way you can understand and get a little bit more comprehensive details on how to set up the speaker. Let's talk about XLR cables. Starts off right over here with a 100 footer. This one is black and there are 200 footers on this roll. The next one, that is the bluish color. This one is 50 footers and there's 4 of them on this roll. Next you have your 25-foot cable, which is black. Then you have your 12-foot cable, which is blue. And then you have your 6-foot cable, which is black. So again, it goes 6 feet, 12 feet, 25, 50, 100. Basically, it's just doubling every time that it goes up. We designed these with 2 different colors, so that way it'd be very easy for you to understand exactly what is hooking up and where. For example, if you have this cable in your hand, you know that you have the shorter 12-foot one because only the other one is this 50-foot long one. And all of your cables are the exact same color for this. You'll know you have a 25-foot black cable because this is way too long to be 6 feet, and this is way too short to be 100 feet. We're over here at station number 3. We have a same mixer over here, but as you can see, we actually hooked up to an iPhone. So your iPhone goes in here to number 9 and 10. So if we look on here and go over to our fader, you can actually see it right here, 9 and 10. It's already synced up. So now if I play any music, this is going right out to the speaker, going from our out right in here to our main right. And now you'll hear audio coming out of here. Now these layouts are very important. I'm just going to show you 14 speakers set up. So if you want to know how to actually set up when you have your XLR cables, this, for example, is our mixer. So you start right there with your mixer. It'll go out to the first speaker, which is right there. So it goes out into input number 1. And now to go to the next one, you're going to use the through and go into input number 1 on the next speaker and repeat. So it goes in for the through into 1, through into 1, through into 1, and they keep daisy chaining one into another. Contact. On the other side is our power cable. This is going to show you exactly how to plug everything in. Power all 14 speakers, you're going to want 7 outlets. Now we're talking about gaffer's tape. This is very good. You guys want to make sure that anytime that you're taping down cables, especially in the gym, you're using gaffer's tape. This is like a cloth material. So when you're putting it on the floor, it'll hold the cable down. And anytime you're done, you need to pull it off. You do not want to leave this on here. If this gets hot, it will get sticky. You don't want to let this fall over like this. You always want to pull this off when you're done. Roll cart. I highly recommend that you take a moment, read through this quick start guide. One of the biggest things about your guys' roll carts is that you should never, A, be a passenger sitting on it, or B, just sitting on it, standing on it, anything like that in general. These should only be used for transporting your equipment. You can fit 3 speakers on here, as well as 3 cable rolls. This is a 0-turn cart, so you can easily turn it back around. And bonus points, just a little Easter egg. If you really want to, you can always take these off, your sides off, and now you have a flatbed rolling cart.
These are going to be your tips for general safety. To start off with our tripods. As we can see, we have the safety pin that's already plugged in. We have a nice spacing on the legs, so if someone tries to come knock it over, it's nearly impossible. And even when it gets super hectic and there's a lot of people moving around, we'll add sandbags or find something to weigh it down. Whenever we're coming up and we need to load one of these tripods, because we're going to go and always put speakers right on top of it, our lovely assistant John here is going to help me do a team lift in order to go and pick it up. We're lifting through our legs, raising it up together, and we're piecing it together. So now that we have all this in one solid, safe installation, we're going to be good to go to plug it in. Other safety tips, always remember to gaffer down your wires, anything that could be considered a trip hazard. And even when you're setting up, be very cautious as far as moving around when there's no tape on the cables on the floor. This is our state-of-the-art scrim. For any stylistic decisions, it always looks nicer to have your tripod covered in this beautiful fabric. The way that you're gonna go and get this on is right here. We have our pieces. We'll go wrap it around. Make sure it's stretched out, because if we have any loose cloth, it is gonna look more tacky than it does look stylish. And once you have that wrapped around and we have secured around the 3 points of contact with the floor, you have a beautiful scrim for your next event. A couple of advantages that come along with the scrim is going to be the cables are well hidden underneath, and you could go and even store more cables underneath when you have excess.
This is your 50-foot power cable. This is 12-gauge cable, which is really thick, so that way you can support high power loads. If you look on here, it does have a 3-prong on the end, so when you do power it up, it is going to light up red on the end. When you're unwinding this, you want to remove it from the Velcro, take this over to your first source of power. You can set that down, and now you can start unwinding and start going into a wall outlet. I highly recommend that you always take all of the excess spool off of here, and that you don't plug it in with it in there. It's just that it can get hot and it can cause issues. You typically won't see anything like that with the actual speakers you're using, just because you're using 2 to 3 speakers per power outlet. But for good practice use, you want to unwind this whole thing. Even if you have excess cable, plug this into the power outlet. You can hide your excess cable under the scrim. To wind it back up, you can do it the classic way right here, or if you prefer, this handle, you just grab right here. You can actually start peeling it up that way. You guys do have a 100-foot cable that goes on a reel. You also have a 50-foot cable that stays on here by itself, single 50-foot cable. And then you also have a 25-foot cable and a 15-foot power cable.